why would I call my program the Last Development Program? That is what someone asked me, and I thought I would explain that. And the reason I decided to call it the Last Development Program, because I can't imagine what else I would need. I don't know what else you would need either to achieve whatever you wanted in your life, because the formula is always the same. But we just keep looking for the next formula because we think that's going to make it work. We think that's going to take us to the place where we're really happy in our lives and we're doing what we want. And we have a lot of money and we have the love of our life. We have all of those things and we're looking for the next thing that's going to get us there. Well, it's always the same thing, though. And we know what that is because we've studied science long enough. And there have been many philosophers and scientists that have come along to tell us how that works. And then you've gone to courses and you've listened to lecturers and mentors and coaches, and they all say the same thing. And then we keep going back trying to make it work. And the only thing that has to work is our brain. We just have to change our mind, that's all. And you've heard that one a lot of times as well. It's in many different ways. I remember Wayne Dyer talking about it, Dr. Wayne Dyer, when the way that you look at things is what you're going to see, basically. He didn't say it that way, but I want you to understand that's what he meant when he was saying that. How we choose to think is what we will see in our lives, what we will see in our experiences. But we come into the world limited. We don't know any of that when we're younger, and then we kind of go through our lives and we're trying to figure it out. We'll go and take this schooling or go to that college or do this job, and then that's not quite right, and then maybe we'll move somewhere else and do that next thing. Then we'll take another course, then we'll do all of it. And all we're doing is trying to get to who we are. That's all that it is. See, because you were born with everything that you needed, but you were also given a set of circumstances that you were meant to move through in your life to understand how valuable you are. That's all. And I'm saying that because that's what my program does. That's all it does. It gets us to look at who we are, how we've been speaking to ourselves, because we program ourselves. There's nothing that's happening outside of our experience that we did not have a hand in causing to occur. We will try to blame it on someone else or shift responsibility, but it's always us. We're the ones who wanted to live this glorious life, and the only thing we have to do is decide that we're going to change our minds. That's all. And I can talk about that from so many different standpoints, but the one that is probably the strangest for me is to understand or to realize that I was given something that could cause me and everyone else to become better. And the only thing we do is we fear it, we doubt it, we just don't know if that's who we're supposed to be, and we don't go there. But then, as we start to become aware of that, we have to understand it first. Then we can start training our brains to do something different. If you've studied neuroscience or heard about it or looked at it, you know that we will form neural pathways in our brain. Chemicals. They're things that cause us to act and respond in a certain way, in a particular way. It's built into us. We all have it. But then individually, each person will have their reactions. They will be different based on your history, based on your family, where you came from, where you grew up, your surroundings, all of that. And that is what makes you unique. But if we don't understand that and find the gifts that we were given, because every single person, there's no one born who doesn't have it, but we have judged it. And so what I was given in the program was this different way of looking at everything, because I said this is a philosophy that I'm working with. The philosophy says you are meant to be in this world, and what you came into the world with is perfect, and it was everything you needed to create a really successful life. All you have to do is decide that you're going to sit down and figure out why. That's it. And so there's this one message. I'm going to read a little bit of this because I want you to get it, because this is the kind of work that I have gone through, that I've had to go through my entire life to get to a place where I feel, oh, well, I'm okay. This is who I'm supposed to be now. But this one, this is from February 18th of 2012. As long as you are in physical form, you are seeking to know and come to accept and embrace unconditionally who you are. This does not mean that you do not attempt to improve, develop, or enhance certain aspects of who you are, but it does mean that you do not attempt to disown or ignore any part of you. And that's the one that we do. That's the one that I've done. Because I think people are going to judge us. We're not going to be quite it. Or we've also have formed other ideas that we've been told that we can't do certain things, that we're not capable, that we don't have the ability. That's never true. I received just a message just a little bit ago, and I'm going to talk about this, and I don't know who this is. Don't know. Somebody sent me a message on Instagram, and she had these visions that had come to her about what she was meant to do in her life, and she says, well, part of it was singing, but she doesn't know that she could do it, but she felt like it was something that God had given her, that she was supposed to do this at this time in her life. And I said, well, yes, you can. I've never spoken to her, I've never seen her, but I absolutely know that she can do it. We can do anything that we decide we want to do, and we'll stay with it and put our energy into it, and it will happen. So it's never a question for me when someone asked me that, and I've talked about that so long ago, because 30 some years ago, when I discovered people who thought they couldn't do anything, and all of a sudden they turned into something different. They turned into someone who could sing, who could perform, who could do all sorts of things. I was with one of my clients who is revisiting his performance days at the Troubadour here in Hollywood in California. And I remember when he first started, this was more than 20 years ago, he couldn't do anything. He would stand on stage and he was just afraid. And then I went back a little while later and saw him do some shows, and he's climbing on the rafters and performing like you can't believe. And this was somebody who first came to me and said, I can't really do anything. And I know that's never true. It's just us. We just have to get out of our way and decide that we're going to work on us. And it's never about anything out there. It's never about the next program, because they're all the same. I've spent thousands of dollars on all of them, so I absolutely know that. And I know that it's just a process that I have to change my brain. I have limitations. And so I have to decide I'm going to work through that one. Now I'm going to work through that one. And then you become empowered. And then you start feeling really great because you've gotten rid of all the gunk you've been carrying around. And that's what we all do. And it doesn't matter if you have money or success or any of that. If you're not fulfilled, if you're not feeling happy, then you haven't fulfilled your person. You haven't fulfilled your purpose for living. That's what it is, because you have it. And it means that you're supposed to be fulfilled, happy, have abundance. You're supposed to have all of it. And all you have to do is decide that you're going to let go of the restrictions that you've placed in front of yourself and change. That's what I've done. I've done it so many times, so I know what I'm talking about. And then each time you feel better. You feel more empowered. You get more things done. You have more love in your life. You have more money. You have all of it, because you're not cutting off your God-given abilities, whatever you came to the world to offer. And again, if you think that you don't have that, that is a decision that you have made, and it's not true. I just got to tell you that. It is just where you've chosen to settle. And I settled for years and years and years. So I'm not ever going to do that one again, because it's so terrible and uncomfortable. But it's the reason that we stay in difficult situations or live in crazy places that we don't want to be. It's all of it, because we don't know who we are. And so that's why this is my last development program, and it means development of everything. Developing you personally about who you are, but developing you spiritually, whatever that might mean for you, because all of that is who you came to the earth to become, and this development program is the only thing you would need to do that. But again, no matter what you do, just remember, you have everything within you to create a magnificent life, and if you don't have it, that means you have just decided you don't deserve it. That's all. I wish I could tell you something different, but that is really the answer. All right, see you guys soon.